Hello, friends. So, after over a year of on and off practicing and trying, and lots of learning and lots of failing, I finally managed to clear Dodonpachi Daioujou Black Label Loop 2. So, this is not a 2-all. This is a run that I did from a save state, starting from 2-1 with optimal resources, like as if I had no missed loop 1. So it's not even like an official category or anything, but it is like by far the hardest thing that I've ever done in a video game. And I'm not saying this to make myself look like an elite gamer or something. It's more like, for me personally, like I don't know how it is for other people who start to get into like Loop 2 play, but for me this was a pretty huge undertaking, and I think the way that I managed to do it, like mentally, was take a lot of breaks. And for the longest time I was like, even when I was making videos about it on the channel, I would say like, hey, I'm like dabbling in loop 2, I'm exploring loop 2, I'm learning some chaining, I'm not really thinking about getting a clear, I'm not thinking about a 2-all or anything. And I kind of talked myself out of the pressure, like, because you know, when you get into loop 2 it's so overwhelming and you really need to do it like piece by piece. And so for a long time, I would like play this pretend game with myself where I'm like, yeah, I'm not going for a clear, I'm just playing this for fun. And I was playing it for fun, but I think like maybe like, let's say 4-ish months ago, I started to, when I made some videos about like failure, and I made a video about my chaining route through loop 2. I think at that point, I felt like I had already kind of gotten my route together, and I had practiced enough where I felt like I could get the clear. And eventually it's kind of changed into the mind space where I was like, I should get the clear. And I started doing like runs, and it just wasn't happening. And then I took a long break during the summer. I didn't play for like 2 months, I think, at all. And then I got back into it now. And it's kind of funny because I could feel myself like playing pretty well, and I was getting a lot of runs like right deep into the game, getting to Hibachi and all that's good stuff. But then the clear just wasn't happening because I would just die all over the place. It wasn't like I had this like really difficult part that I, you know, fail every time, or that really needed to practice like this specific part. Like obviously there's some places which I could tighten up a little bit or something. The main issue for me was just keeping it together for the 20-minute duration of the run and not screw up in just random places, because there's lots of bullets in loop 2, there's lots of really tight routing, and it's easy to mess up pretty much anywhere. So what would happen to me is that I would play some sections really well, then I would like bleed my resources in unexpected places, and then I would get to Hibachi and I just wouldn't have enough like extra lives to make it through washing machine or anything. And so that became really discouraging. And to be really honest, like it feels like you people in the comments, you're always so nice to me, and you know, you say that, yeah, I believe in you, I know you can do this, and I'm really thankful for those comments. But honestly, I started to feel that I really couldn't do it, because I would just like play these runs and I just couldn't get a run together where I just didn't make mistakes. And so it became pretty demotivating, while at the same time I was like really enjoying the game when I was playing well, and I was like getting the chains together, because this is also a chaining run. This is not just a survival clear, this is also kind of like scoring run. So I made it kind of harder for myself than I could have, but also I wasn't interested in just doing a survival clear, because the reason why I started playing Loop 2 is just because this is my favorite shmup. This is the one where it all comes together for me the most, and it's the one that I wanted to really like explore and understand and play well. So it wasn't like I just wanted to just clear the loop 2 and be done with it. It was more about like, I want to really learn to play this game, understand this game, because I love this game. So that kind of helped me, because I was just enjoying the game immensely when it was going well. then when the mistakes started to pile up and the chains broke and all that stuff, then I would feel pretty bad. And eventually, I think I like kind of understood that for me personally, like I couldn't do the run that I was maybe planning to do, where I was like ideally I would play to like 2-4 rail sections without dying, and then I would get to the true last boss stretch with lots of extra lives. So because all of those bosses are really difficult, like the Kouryu, the flying bee, Hibachi, like it's really easy to mess up there. So ideally I would want to like no miss most of the 4 first stages and carry a lot of extra lives to the final boss rush, but it just wasn't happening because I was making those mistakes. And so it was like, I can't rely on resources to get that ending, you know? So I would just need to accept the losses and just play really well at the end without having that safety net. And that's kind of, it's kind of liberating and kind of nerve-wracking at the same time, because you don't have that safety net at the end, because you know you're losing lives all over the place. But also it kind of helps with reset syndrome, because it's like, as long as I have at least 2 extra lives entering the final boss rush, the clear is technically possible. And so what ended up happening, the run that I'm going to show you, the loop 2 clear, is exactly that kind of run where I died in really strange places, like the places that are relatively easy compared to some of the others, like places that I really shouldn't be dying in. And then I aced all the difficult parts, basically. So in a way, it's a messy run, but it's kind of, I think I'm really happy with it, because it shows that I can really play the difficult parts, even though I can't make the easy dodges, so-called easy dodges. So it's also kind of a fun run. Of course, now I'm spoiling it by telling what's going to happen, but I think there's kind of cool drama in there and some really fun play. So I'm so excited to show it to you. And also I was really happy with doing most of the chaining that I learned, because I think my goal was to full chain stage 1, 2, and 5, then to do stage 3 in 2 parts, and like the first 2/3 of stage 4. And spoilers, I didn't attain that goal really, but I did a lot of kind of the chaining that I wanted to do. So I'm really happy with having that also to kind of show off in this clear. So yeah, really excited to show it to you. And really, this is I think if you've been following the channel for a while, you probably know how much this means to me, like getting the loop 2 together. But it's kind of hard to express in words. Like this is a really meaningful kind of milestone for me. In a way, it's the kind of when I did my first Arcade 1cc, which was Dodonpachi in, I think, 2022. That was kind of that was something completely different that I hadn't done before, and it was a pretty major effort, and it really changed how I view video games. And then this Daioujou Black Label Loop 2 clear is kind of the second time that I felt something like so momentous, because it really felt like something that I couldn't achieve. Like it was this huge mountain to climb. And as I said, I had to kind of lie to myself in a way, like telling myself that, yeah, I'm not really going for the clear. I'm just playing this for fun. I'm just learning this for fun, because otherwise I think I would just kind of crumple under the the goal, so to say. So I don't know. Like having done this, I think something's kind of shifted inside myself, and I've I don't know, I think I have to kind of sit on it for a while and just kind of get my thoughts together maybe later. But yeah, I'm super excited to show it to you. And just a quick word about, I know some of you will probably ask me about, well, are you interested in doing a 2-all then? And I think I am. But I think the problem there, it's not a problem, but it's kind of, I don't want to do a clear where I just kind of, basically I would want to learn to chain kind of loop 1 decently, so that I could kind of do like score play, and also that it wouldn't be just the first loop wouldn't be just kind of a waiting room where I just do the like survival strats and then try to ace loop 2. I would like to play loop 1 well as well, just to keep it interesting for me, because just kind of doing a 2-all to show that I can do it, that's just kind of, I feel like it's more like it's just like time at this point, because like I think I could do the loop 2 clear again, and loop 1 is obviously a lot of easier now that I know loop 2, but I would like to kind of play loop 1 better too, and that's, that takes time to figure out the kind of route that I want to do. Loop 1 chaining is so strict, so that's just that's again time and effort, and at some point I think I would be interested in doing that, but right now I'm really satisfied and happy with this, and I think I'm ready to play something else for a while too, so yeah, let's watch the run. So, as I said in the introduction, this is me starting from a safe state that assumes that I've kind of played loop 1 perfectly, where I didn't lose any lives, and also I'm starting with some hyper already built up. And I don't think I'm going to go like into the kind of really the nitty-gritty of the route, because I've already done it in a video that I think is titled something like My Chaining Route Through Daioujou Loop 2. You'll find it on the channel. It's a recent-ish video, but the main idea with my route is that I want to chain, or at least try chaining, most of the game while also kind of being relatively safe for survival. So even though I'm chaining, I'm not doing like super crazy chaining, and it's mostly just to, it feels good to keep the chain alive, but I'm not optimizing really score or anything like that. So it's kind of combination of chain, score play, and survival. And if I would like try to do a 2, I think I would tweak some of my strategies, because this is something that I do in loop or in 2-1, like the first stage here, is that I am going for the full chain, but you notice me picking up a lot of hypers. And that's kind of it's kind of a funny strategy that I came up with, is that I basically collect the maximum amount of hypers here, and I have my hyper gauge full as I enter stage 2, because that allows me to always start stage 2 with the same kind of hyper setup, which makes kind of the kind of hyper tricks and hyper timings in stage 2 like super consistent, and that's really important for stage 2. And for stage 1, I didn't find like the hypering, I didn't need it for survival really, or even for the like chaining or anything. So kind of do this kind of dumb, but it's kind of something that I settle for. But it's also kind of nice to have kind of a personal touch in the run. This is not just me copying somebody's replay. This is me coming up with my own dumb strategies, and even like the stage 1 boss, like some of the kind of the first attack is pretty dangerous, but I just raw dodge it. So it's just something kind of funny that I do. And also having 5 hypers allows me to get a really nice chain going on here at the start of stage 2, and that just feels so good to have, kind of 700 hit chain like just at the beginning. So, and I think I played enough of like stage 1 and 2 where I feel that I'm pretty consistent at them. Again, I can die anywhere and I restart a lot, even in the early game, but it kind of feels good to have the chaining pretty consistent in these first stages. So yeah, the beginning of this run is going like according to plan, like everything is as I want it to be. So this is me like executing my choreography and, you know, again, feeling like when you can keep the chain together, it just feels so satisfying, so cool. And again, as I explained in my chaining video, there's two main things about Loop 2 that are going to carry you through it, and that's macro dodging or like routing around having to micro dodge, and hyper management or timing your hypers and having hypers at exact moments that you want to have them, and that will be really crucial for the boss of this stage. But even all these hypers during the stage, everything is kind of planned beforehand. So yeah, this mid boss is pretty dangerous, like that pink random pattern. I hate it. I've gotten better at it, but it's still, you know, kind of possible that I die there, and that just feels really, really bad. Yeah, and I always activate my hyper around this time, so that's when I enter the boss, I will have the exact hyper meter that I want, so I can do some this kind of like point blanking trick that we'll see in just a minute. Yeah, it feels so good to have like a 1700 hit chain in this run, so really happy with this. And so if you look at my hyper meter, it's almost full, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hyper as soon as I can, then fill my hyper gauge here, then bomb out of the hyper, grab the bomb. And now I've done a lot of damage to the boss, so I do just a bit of dodging here, and then I can use the hyper to kind of skip the last pattern. And there's a trick that everybody does with this boss where you get on top of the boss, and that makes it really easy, but I was kind of lazy to learn it, and I also kind of wanted to do it kind of legit. And I don't mean that doing the strat is kind of cheating or anything, I just kind of felt like it would be fun to kind of like dodge the boss. And this, again, some of these things, like I could have done this clear a little bit easier on myself, but I just wanted to do it my way a little bit. And so, yeah, stage 1 and 2 went perfectly. Stage 3, something strange is going to happen in stage 3. So the beginning part, nothing too crazy here, everything's going well, I'm chaining, having fun, dodging bullets. But then, the next B that I will try to get is kind of a tough one. I don't know, maybe there's like a trick to it, like this one. And I think, no, I get it, but the way that something happens there that I break my chain. I think it was kind of, I think while getting the B, I switched the shot types kind of a little out of sync or something. So I broke my chain, and then I get out of position. Suddenly it's pretty dangerous here, and I missed that B again. So chaining wise, this is kind of, I messed up. And also it means that I don't have the hypers that I want. I actually want to hyper this boss, bomb, and then have a hyper ready for the next section, but now I don't have it, and then I'm kind of stalling here and trying to figure out what I want to do, but there's nothing really that I can do. I just kind of dodge there for no reason. And here I would like to have a hyper to skip this pattern, because I hate dodging this. It's really dangerous, so I usually use a hyper to skip it, but now I had to raw dodge it. And since I don't have a hyper here, my chain is going to break, because I don't know how to chain this section without a hyper. Or I know theoretically how you do it, but I just can't do it without a hyper. So basically, chaining-wise, stage 3 is a catastrophe. But I'm still surviving, so that's good. And that's a kind of a thing, a nice thing about doing kind of scoring and survival together, because first off, you try to score, and then if you mess up your scoring, you still feel good if you're still surviving. So you have kind of this double goal, which helps you keep motivated. So yeah, I'm kind of sad about the chaining in the stage, but I'm still alive, so everything's going well for now. So yeah, doing the safe spots here, It's always so scary. I think I'm going to, yeah, I'm breaking my chain all over the place because I feel like mistakes cascade. Like if you do one mistake, it kind of messes you up mentally, and then you make more mistakes and more mistakes and more mistakes. But again, I'm still surviving, not dead, everything is good. Time for stage 3 boss. Now this is a tough one because this is just a lot of dodging, just a lot of micro dodging, and there's nothing really you can do about it. There's lots of attacks, you can't really skip the boss or anything, so you just need to dodge it. But I've played this a lot and I feel pretty confident about it, so yeah, I'm just dodging, playing here, and suddenly, look at this, I just hit that bullet. And that was kind of a, that's just like an honest mistake. Like that pattern isn't that difficult, like let's say compared to this, like this is messed up. But it's still, it's kind of, the bullets are fast and sometimes you get clipped by those last bullets, and so that's what happened to me. So not ideal and kind of a, like, yeah, I just kind of messed up. So that's not really good because now what I would do during the phase 2 of this boss is that I would hyper and then bomb, and that would drain the boss's health. Now I don't have hypers, but I have 2 bombs. And now what I try to do is bomb only once and then try to dodge so that I have enough, so that I carry the extra bomb into the next stage. But I played like too riskily and I stayed in a weird position and I died again. So 2 deaths during the stage 3 boss, that's not good. Like I still have enough lives to make it through, but again, my plan is to get to the stage 2 for rails before dying once. So this is not good. But still, I remember feeling kind of like, it felt pretty bad, but then I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to play. And I think I played kind of extra aggressively during this like beginning section. I was like fuck it, let's just play and let's go all out and let's do some cool chaining, let's use hypers. And that paid off because the beginning part is going pretty well. I'm building up a nice chain, everything's going well. And now, just to, again, for hyper management reasons, I want to get that B before hypering and hyper canceling these bullets. And I maybe shouldn't have done that. That was too risky. But again, at this point, my mental state is where I'm kind of a little angry at the game and at myself. And so that kind of pushes me into kind of this risky play. And thankfully, it paid off. So, yeah. So now I'm kind of back on track. I'm feeling better about myself, and I had the hypers that I want, so now I just want to like just keep it together and now try to play a little bit more safe and, you know, not mess up, not bleed any more resources, because remember, we need those lives for the final boss rush. Like ideally I would like to, like dying twice is I think a realistic goal before getting to the final boss rush, so I would like to get to the final boss rush with, say, 4 extra lives. So that's still possible because we're going to get an extra life in this stage. So yeah, this is again a planned hyper. I kind of go into the corner so I have enough room to stream those bullets safely. This is always a crazy section with all the popcorn. Like look at this, look at this. Yeah, I get a lucky, like I have a bullet or like a hyper cancel there. And now we're approaching the mid boss. And the mid boss is kind of scary with the shells coming out, but since I have a hyper, I can always hyper if I get too scared with the shells. So I get into position, and then look at this, look at this, look at this. What is that? What kind of dodge is that? That was so easy. There was so much space, and then I just flew into the bullet. And this is what I mean when like my runs would just end to mistakes like this, like. I don't really need to practice that section anymore. Like, what happened there? So now I'm feeling pretty bad, like 3 extra lives and another 2 for rails. And so now it's just kind of, I'm going all out. Now I can't bomb, I just need to play really well. And look what happens. This is like the best that I've ever played, like the 2 for rails. Like, what is even happening here? Like, I don't know. I was just playing purely on instinct, that this is just kind of, since the patterns are, you know, like random, or the positions are random, yeah, so I died at the mid-boss, like the super easy kind of pattern during the mid-boss, and then I just went through that with just using 1 hyper, so I was like, okay, what's happening here? So by my standards, that's really like a good play during the rails. So 2 for boss, really scary. I can't really dodge this really well, so I thought I'll just use my bombs. I have 3 bombs. I'm just going to use all of them. Because for the 2-5 stages, you're going to get 2 bombs back, and I don't really need bombs for the stages. So again, just plain old micro dodging, and then bombing to kind of skip this pattern again, and well, that went pretty well. So, and I'm going to do the strat where I bomb the last pattern of this boss to skip it again. So just trying to keep it together here, and yeah, that's basically the boss done. I just need to bomb, and my hyper meter is pretty much where I want it to be. I want to start 2-5 with a hyper and not too much gauge. So I'm exactly at the point that I want to be, which is really good. So again, my resources super low, like no bombs, only 3 extra lives. Not looking good, but I'm still going to play it out. And I'm still going to try the chain 2-5. So here we go. I'm just going to follow my plan. Again, plant hyper at this point to cancel the bullets and give myself some firepower and that good stuff. And the really scary intro part is done. And I remember I wasn't feeling too nervous at this point because, again, I had all of those really messed up deaths and I wasn't expecting to clear. So I think that really helped with nerves. So I was kind of just playing it out and just kind of having fun and kind of trying to get my revenge in the game. Even this mid boss, this is kind of a... I often die here. This is kind of a hard thing to keep the chain going here. So if you do a chain break here, it's much easier. But again, messing up the easy parts and then doing the hard parts correctly, then doing the big stream here. Now we're hitting the beehive. I think at this point I've played the beehive enough where usually I'm like where I want to be, but there's just so many bullets here. It can sometimes, and the timings are really tight. I think I'm going to have like a kind of a lucky dodge here soon-ish. I think it's with the, not this bee, but with the, yeah, the bee on the left. Like look at this dodge. Like I just got lucky there, so kind of yeah. But luck does play a little factor in the game. Sometimes you get unlucky, sometimes you get a little lucky. That's just part of the game. And now I played again the hard part, the beehive. I did pretty well. And then this boss, like this isn't that hard compared to other stuff in this stages because, you know, you got these big bullets, you got lots of big gaps. And look at this. Again, why am I dying here? A very strange place to die. And then during this absolutely crazy enemy rush here, I'm just playing this like it's nothing almost, and then even hypering and keeping the chain alive to the mid boss, which is like again doing the hard part but dying at the easy part. Really strange. And so kind of the death kind of sucks because I chained up to that point. I think I got like 1,000 hit chain, and then I'm starting up my chain again. So I'm going to kind of chain this stage in 2 parts. Not completely to the end, but almost all of the stage. So I'm really happy about that. And then I'm getting back to my routes. And again, thankfully my hypers are where I want them to be. And then I'm just following my route here. And I think at this point, again, I had given up on all hope. Because like having 2 extra lives, doing the final boss rush is doable. But, you know, all of them are so difficult. Like Kouryu is just so tough, and then the flying bee is just so precise. So I often die to those bosses, and then having only 2 extra lives means that I have to do a washing machine basically perfectly. I need to get some nice dodging in, and I need to get the hypers that I want. So possible, but not really realistic. So just playing it out. Again, doing my planned hypers. Luckily, I've played this stage enough where it kind of it's almost automatic at this point. It just doesn't mean that I don't make mistakes, but it doesn't feel like so nerve-wracking anymore. It just feels really good. Like the stage, like playing the stage feels so good. Here I'm going to have a chain break, which kind of sucks because I almost got another 1k hit chain, but I just switched from rapid to shots in the wrong way there. Just my timings were a little off there, but really nice survival play. And now, starting with the final boss rush. Now, remember, I can't die. I just can't die to the first two big Bs. And now I'm hypering through this really, really scary first pattern. Like this is so scary because there's so little room to move. Now I'm going to do the bomb strat here. So I'm going to bomb once, grab the bomb again. And then this is so scary. I need to dodge the final part here. And luckily, like I didn't get the worst pattern that you could get. And here, I don't know if my positioning was just off or I got an unlucky pattern, but I need to make really tight dodges there. Maybe I should have gone into the corner, but yeah, this is like really nasty. But again, somehow, miraculously, I got through that. Now my hypermeter is pretty much perfect for Hibachi, so now I just need to not die here, and I get myself into a corner. I need to kind of dodge even upwards, but whoa. Luckily that went well, so I'm bombing, grabbing the hyper, and now look, my hypermeter is almost full, which is really good for Hibachi, and then I just need to keep it together for this part, and luckily I did it. And now, doing the Hibachi strat, so I'm dying here intentionally, so that I can do the first phase without any dodges, basically. So, planned death, doing some point blanking, then going down, waiting for Hibachi to shoot, then bomb, wait for a little, bomb again, and then point blank with a hyper, and that's the first phase done. So the first phase went perfectly. Now we get to the washing machine. And again, I only have one extra life. So I really need to get some dodging in. So this, I'm preparing to dodge the washing machine. Just trying to dodge for as long as I can, And that went as well as I could have hoped. And now I have a hyper, using all my iframes, grabbing another hyper, using all of my iframes. They're ending. I'm going down for dodging for just a little bit, and I really couldn't believe that this was the run that cleared. It was like to the last second, I was kind of like this can't be happening. That like this is not going to happen because it was just so like down to the wire or whatever the expression is. Like. Getting through those like Kouryu and the flying bee without dying, and then the washing machine, like getting that first long dodge in, which allowed me to build more hyper gauge, and having two hypers for the last life. This was a crazy run. It's so funny. It like began with like the stage 1 and 2 like playing ideally, really the way that I want to. Then having the hugely messed up stage 3, then kind of a pretty good stage 2-4 and 2-5, where I still was bleeding my resources in very strange places, but then coming through at the end and managing to like do those bosses like as well as I can at my skill level. I couldn't have played the final bosses like I can't do them any better. So as I said in the intro, like I was really happy the way that this run turned out, even with all those deaths and it being kind of messy. But I think it's kind of I have this kind of peace after doing this run where I was like, yeah, I learned this game and I kind of earned the victory, even if I was like just kind of burning through those extra lives like crazy. But it feels better this way to kind of mess up the easy sections and then kind of do the hard parts really well, instead of just, carrying all of my extra lives to the end and then just kind of using all of my resources to get through the final bosses. So, yeah, this was intense, and I'm still kind of in disbelief that this actually happened because, again, for me, this was a huge challenge. Like, I don't know how it is for other people who get into Loop 2 stuff, but to me, this felt like an unreal goal to achieve. And yeah, what can I say? I really love this game. If I hadn't loved this, if I didn't love it this much, I wouldn't have put the time and effort to do this. So I still, even with all the frustration and losing hope, this was a very kind of rewarding and interesting experience, and something I'm really glad that I stuck to it. And yeah, just feels crazy. Also feels good to kind of be able to show off this clear, because, you know, after talking about it for so long on this channel, it would have been kind of weird to come back and then say that, yeah, I've been actually playing Daioujou, but I just can't do it and I gave up. And then, I don't know, that would have been weird. So yeah, if you're still here watching, thanks so much for coming along for this clear. If you've been following my channel for a while, my journey with Daioujou for a longer time, thanks so much for coming along for the ride. Like, getting all this comments and encouragement, it really means a lot to me, and I'm so, like, as I've said already, like 5 times, so excited to like share this with you, because this is a communal effort in that, you know, I use replays by others. I watch Juju Kenobi, I watch Pan, I watch all kinds of people, and then use that to improve my play. So this is not just like something that I did, like a personal achievement. I view it as a kind of a becoming a new kind of link in a long chain, kind of part of this tradition and keeping the tradition alive. So yeah, really happy with this, and I'm hoping to inspire others to go on their Loop 2 journeys as well. So yeah, Sam, thanks so much for watching, and see you again next time in something probably a little kind of lighter, and something that didn't take me like 100 hours to do. So yeah, thanks, bye.